Alright, time now is 8:09 a.m. on April 17th. It's a Sunday and it's Easter. So, whew, god damn it. I only slept for about 4 hours and 40 something minutes. Which is not that bad. I mean, it's fine. Like sleeping this little once in a week. Slept from 3:15, 3:20-ish till 7:55. Yeah, so whew, I want to sleep all the way tomorrow, Monday, except I kind of can't. I don't know. So I don't know if I've talked about this already, but the Taiwanese guy last night, said it looks like Kaneshiro Takeshi. And there was a point in time where people asked me if I'm from UCLA or not, and I said no. And Kelly said, well, not yet. And then I said, no. That is if I get into UCLA successfully. Because, UCLA film is really difficult to get into. Frick. Okay, right. So, I'm gonna go to church today. The pastor's gonna pick me up like last week. I'm going to be seeing Jonah and Kelly again, so there's that. I'll have a quick bowl of cereal and then I'll just head out, and that's it. And I finished all the Apple Jacks, so I'll be eating Frosted Flakes, which is something that I haven't eaten since, I don't know, years. That's it. Man, I watched 2 episodes of anime last night, but I was so sleepy I almost fell asleep during the latter episode. So I have some more to catch up tonight. And no phone calls. No phone calls yet from the employer. I really highly doubt that the employer is gonna call me. So that's that. And still bummed out by the fact that a lot of footage is lost from my December thoughts update video. I'm gonna try my best to recall what did I think about, but it's difficult. Yeah, and not much else. I'm gonna go to Amazon Prime and for real order myself a couple tables and an electronic balance and a small clock. I think that's very important. I didn't read at all yesterday. I didn't draw. I didn't write my script. I really need to do these things, That being said though, spring break has been quite amazing. Like, it's been very eventful. It's an eventful spring break. Even though I didn't read much, didn't write much, didn't draw much. Even though I haven't really hung out with Kevin or the UCLA guy. Not the UCLA guy, the exchange student at LMU. It's still very fruitful. Still. So that's cool. And yeah, again, over 200 followers on Instagram. Woohoo! I'm a man now. Naturally, because I'm in level 2 of my video game. Making friends is key, making friends is the goal. So I don't know. I'm so tired.
제가先。 羹啲，兩羹。
Alright, time now is 5:19 p.m. I've made it back home to my apartment. Once again, today is a longer day than I've expected. Went out more than I had expected, and I'm gonna talk a little bit later because I'm really tired now, and also I forgot to take a bag of eggplants thing, and a person is driving back to outside my apartment to give me my eggplants, even though it's not really mine, it's from a restaurant. But yeah, let's hope, fingers crossed, I have enough time today to finish all the editing and all the stuff I want to do and have to do. Yeah. Oh, okay. God, I'm so freaking sleepy and tired. I didn't fall asleep at the church sermon, so okay, I'm gonna talk about today, I guess. The pastor drove me and Kelly there. I didn't fall asleep during the sermon at all. I didn't feel uncomfortable either. I watched the whole thing through and through, and then afterwards, me, Kelly, Jonah, and a couple other people went to this dim sum restaurant to buy dim sum. I didn't buy anything because I wanted to save money because I've already spent enough money in the last week. So we went back. We had the Sunday service school and Sunday school Bible study fellowship thing, and yeah. So there were a lot of people today. And then it's cool, and then afterwards, we decided to what happened afterwards? Hold on, something happened afterwards. We went to another nearby spot. Shoot, I forgot. A lot had happened, but yeah. Afterwards, Jonah left. I haven't paid him yet the dinner fee from last night. So me, Kelly, another girl, the elder sister of the very athletic guy, and another guy with a small hat. We went to have lunch at another spot in Chinatown at a restaurant, and it was a good meal. Tofu. There's a sweet and sour pork. There's friggin' eggplants. That's the one I left behind. And it was $9 per person. It was extremely cheap. It's actually amazing. And then, so the guy with the cap and the girl had to go back to the church to count money from donations from people, church donations. So it's just me and Kelly. We continued to eat our lunch for a while, and we couldn't finish all, so we decided to pack them in boxes and take them away. And it's 2 boxes. One box is sweet and sour pork, and the other is the eggplants. And I forgot to take the eggplants. And then, yeah, after lunch, me and Kelly walked back to the church, and we just sat down in the main area in a huge room where there's not a lot of people, and at the other side of the room, some 3 people are counting donation money. The pastor and his wife is sitting on some seats, and then Kelly's in front of me, and then I sat in the back, and it was kind of cozy and nice, and I just looked at my phone for an hour. And then afterwards, I was like, okay, yeah, time to go home. In my head, I'm like, yes, I can finally go home. But instead, the pastor and other people decided to go to have tea because they hadn't had lunch yet. So fine. So we went to a delicious food corner in Monterey Park, the same restaurant I went to a few weeks ago after church. And in there, I originally didn't want to order anything, but I ended up ordering a milk tea, and I ate some chicken wings and 腸粉, rice rolls, and then it's nice and all. And then afterwards, the guy with the cap driving a Tesla drove me and Kelly back home, and the bag of the takeout of the eggplants is in the guy's car, not at the trunk, but the opposite of the trunk. It's at the front of the car, because for some reason, I only learned this today, but you can open up the front of the Tesla and you can store stuff in there, and it doesn't heat up. It's weird. It's weird. It's insane. But yeah. So I feel really full right now. I feel really fed. Like god damn. Like I've been eating so much food in the last couple of days. The salmon rice last night, the ice cream, and then this, and like holy cow. Holy cow, I ate so much food. It's like, I don't know what to have for dinner again. I mean, I know what to have, but now I have too much. Too much food. I never expected myself to run into that issue, but I feel legitimately full right now. Like I don't want to eat or drink anything. The plot thickens. So I guess the one highlight of today is before arriving at the church, the pastor who drove me and Kelly to the church told both of us that a Mandarin speaking person who has been part of this Bible study fellowship for a while already is bringing his girlfriend here. And the Mandarin speaking person is from China, from northeast China. And he's bringing a girlfriend, and apparently the girlfriend is a Hong Konger and speaks Cantonese and is from UCLA. And okay, so that's kind of weird because Kelly's from UCLA too. And then a little bit later, during the after lunch, when me and Kelly waited for the other people to finish counting the donation money in the big room, Kelly was bored and she scrolled through Instagram, the UCLA Hong Kong Student Association Instagram, and in one of the posts, I'm not going to tell you which one, duh, she's like, wait, hold on, that's the Mandarin speaking guy and his girlfriend. I'm like, what? What? So the plot thickens, and even today, like this morning, during the drive to church, and then when we were walking to the dim sum shop, and then when we were walking to lunch, we also talked about the traumatic events of last night. Like I and Kelly also talked about how we went to the talent show last night at UCLA, and it was an insane horror. It was a horror show. It was both very cringe-inducing, but also very weird. Like the whole thing felt like a fever dream, and it was already very interesting. But now the plot thickens even further when Kelly found out that the Mandarin-speaking guy and his girlfriend somehow joined an activity, which is weird, given that the Mandarin-speaking guy doesn't study in UCLA. And the plot thickens even further when we learned that the talent show last night is U852. And this U852 is a coalition of Hong Kong student associations in different universities. And of course, there's UCLA, there's UCSB, there's UCSD, and there's also USC. But I just realized that there isn't a single contestant from USC last night. And I don't know if there are any people from USC among the audience either, which is extremely weird. Like, what's going on? So Kelly's like, yeah, that's weird. And I said, well, maybe they're beefing. Maybe there's like a huge beef between the Hong Kong student associations of UCLA and USC. And then I went online and searched on Wikipedia, and like apparently the UCLA USC rivalry is a thing, and there is a Wikipedia page dedicated to it, and it dates all the way back to 1954. Jesus Christ. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. This is history. Yeah, the plot thickens. Like Kelly and I basically I had a lot of fun just scrolling through the Instagram pages of the UCLA Hong Kong Student Association as well as the Hong Kong Student Associations of other universities, and we were just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and we find something weird and interesting on a lot of the posts. Like, clearly something's up. Like it organizes all these hiking activities, dim sum events, all these hangouts, and it's really weird and fake and like, and it's kind of ironic because before I came to USA, I'm like, okay, I got to join the Hong Kong Student Association of some sorts. Like, I want to do something. But now that I'm seeing these Instagram posts, I'm like, okay, I need to reconsider this because it seems a little problematic, you know. But one really interesting thing is that UCLA Hong Kong Student Association organizes these culture events where like they make a movie or something. They make a short film and they screen these short films. And it's like I kind of want to do that shit. And Kelly never joins any of these activities because it's not her thing, and it's too much drama. There's a lot of drama, Hong Kong style drama, all the gossiping, all the conspiracies, and it's just not Kelly's thing, and it's not my thing, even though it also is kind of my thing, conspiracies. But it's just very interesting. The plot thickens, and then during the tea time, after the donation money counting, at the delicious food corner at Monterey Park, the pastor casually mentioned that the Mandarin speaking guy and his girlfriend came today to church. And the Mandarin speaking guy is from USC? Which is even weirder because A, the Mandarin speaking guy is from China, so why would he join Hong Kong Student Association? B, even if he somehow joined the Hong Kong Student Association of USC, why would it have any affiliation with the UCLA Hong Kong Student Association? It's just very convoluted, very weird, kind of interesting, and I just feel really blessed that last night I'm able to witness like the summit of the presidents. Like, there's something so political about last night. It was like a UN meeting where a bunch of presidents, a bunch of administrations of different governments come together for a huge hangout, for a little, like, yeah, let's sing dance, but really this is an event to improve our diplomatic relationships or something. And instead of administrations of different governments, it's more like board members of different Hong Kong student associations in different universities across Southern California. It's so niche, it's so specific, and it's somehow so political. It's so interesting, really. But yeah, that's basically what I want to say. All right, so time now is 10:42 p.m. I'm gonna wrap up today. So I've quite a lot to say. Spring break has ended, and I think it's because I have super low expectations. Okay, you know what? Before I get into that, what happened? Right, watched half of Turning Red, went out and made myself dinner, and then at around 9:40, continued watching it, finished it. Here I am. Cindy, my roommate, has a guest come over. I'm washing my shower towel right now, but Cindy's washing her clothes. But yeah, she has a guest over, a South Asian lady. I would like to keep it down, but I do want to talk now because I don't want to do anything else, honestly. But yeah, I don't know. I just have a lot of thoughts and feelings to talk about, and I hope this doesn't get deleted or something. Like my freaking thoughts update from December. Yikes. But yeah, spring break is over, and I had super low expectations, so I ended up thinking that it's eventful, thinking that the spring break is very eventful. Like, honestly, spring break, to me, it already started, like last week, because of how I went to watch Jujutsu Kaisen Zero in the cinema, and how I went to watch Revolution of Our Times and the Batman with Christian, and then the friggin' hangout with the film 40. But when it actually started on Sunday, and then almost every single day from Sunday onwards, aside from I think Wednesday, I've gone out every single day, and every single day it's so fruitful. Um, that's insane. That really is insane. I honestly, it's ironic because when I was young, when I was just a kid, like 7 years old, 8 years old, I love fruitful, eventful holidays. I love just doing tons of shit every single day in my break, in my holiday. Just just pack it up with everything. But now I would much prefer not doing anything, just sleeping, resting, contemplating life, and just slow down and calm down. But I did the opposite of that. I I really aggressively socialized. I've never socialized this hard in my life. This is a new high for me. This is honestly a new high for me. You know, one of those like a bunch of people having fun, taking photo, posting it on Instagram. You know, one of those incidents. I feel like I've achieved that level, which is horrifying for something like me. I'm about to reach that level. I haven't reached the top yet, of course, but I am impressed how far I've gone up this ladder of socializing. I am honestly shocked. Um, but yeah, just to recap, last Sunday went to church, played board game. It was nice. On Monday it was all me, but I still had fun. You know, I went to Target. I went to Ralph's. I went to watch Everything Everywhere All at Once all by myself, and it felt eventful as hell. Tuesday, I went out with JT and Potter, and that day kind of sucks, but it's also kind of a good day for me at the same time because it started off really bitter and cynical. I had a terrible time just listening to Potter and JT talk about how many friends they have and how they hang out with this person, karaoke, sleepover, lunch with this person, dinner with that person. Oh wow, Korean friends, oh this Japanese guy, this Taiwanese girl, this and that, this and that, like oh my fucking god. Like meanwhile there's a loser here sitting there. And I still get a little envious sometimes, but at the end of the day I made the conclusion that I shouldn't fret. Just because like I had two options, man. After I hear my friends talk about other friends and how enjoyable their lives are, I could either A, just give up and just accept that I'm a loser and just not do anything about it and just sulk. Or B, I could work even harder, be even more aggressive. So I went with B, and it sort of gave me hope almost. So then there's Wednesday, which is a rest day, didn't do anything, but I like that. I like not doing anything. Thursday, didn't see this coming, but hung out with Potter, and it's awesome because we chatted a lot. And even though I and Potter, even though we are really like, I could really chat with him. I feel like I could really be honest with the guy, and we really match. Like our vibes really match. But I'm gonna be honest here, we are not alike at all. He's very different from me. Our personalities, the way he sees things, the way I see things, his whole vibe, his whole personality is so different from mine. But that's also kind of why socializing takes effort. If if I can find people like me so easily, then what's the point of socializing? I can just say hi, I know you, you know me, let's hang out. But that's not how the world works. Everybody's different. I haven't found a single person in my life that is like me. Like how I think, like how I act. Like what I like, do what I like, do what I do. I am unique. There's no one in this world like me. It doesn't mean I'm important, it doesn't mean I'm great. It just means that I'm unique and I'll never be able to find someone like me. But that's okay, because this is where socializing comes in. I can make friends with a super extroverted party girl who's super positive about life. And yeah, I hate those kind of people, but if socializing works out between us, it will still work probably, because that is socializing. And I also learned that communicating is different from socializing. I can have a good chat with someone, but a good chat is a good chat. What's important is that a good chat is not enough. You know, you can be friendly, you can exchange great conversation with someone, but socializing is more than that. Socializing is beyond that. How to continue chatting with that person, how to build good relationships with a person, how to come off nice, how to come off likable and charismatic. That is a skill I need to master, and I am doing it. And it's amazing, honestly. I'm learning it the hard way, but I'm learning it. Friday, I again isn't that eventful, but I did go to Chinatown all by myself, and it's an odd experience because Chinatown itself is very underwhelming. But on the train back home, I guess maybe it's because I was listening to Lily Shoo Shoo, but it really felt special, and almost for a split second, I realized how far I've gone. And because the music was so dreamy, I almost realized that I'm not dreaming. That this is real. This is real life. I'm in the USA right now, all across the Pacific Ocean, in a different world, and I'm surviving by myself. But only for a split second. Because I still, and I will never probably, be able to compute that I'm here right now, living, breathing in LA, and it's the same world as Hong Kong. But I will never really fully grasp that. Because the day I do is the day I fall into a deep pit of depression and pain and suffering. And it'll never happen. Saturday, which is yesterday, is probably the most unexpectedly strange and also the dreamiest day since I've been to LA, since I've been to USA, since I've left Hong Kong actually. This is such an experience. I just went with the flow, and it's dreamy because I didn't have control of what's happening. It feels like life is taking me on a ride instead of me knowing exactly what to expect. I followed Jonah and Kelly into UCLA to the talent show, and we followed the big group to a restaurant in Sawtell, and I just roll with it. The life itself is taking me on a ride, and I just ride with it. I didn't have anything, like I didn't expect anything. It's so unpredictable, and it's dreamy. I won't say fun, but it's definitely dreamy. And the way I and Kelly talk about last night, like it's some weird event thing, makes me enjoy last night even more. And moments like this are really rare because sometimes things get really unpredictable, but I still am able to predict what's gonna happen. Like, you know, I and Miriam and Zara went to Fanling last summer, and yeah, it was adventurous, but I was still able to predict what's going on for the most part because I had a schedule. I'm following a schedule. I know where to go, what to do, and I'm still in Hong Kong, you know? I know Hong Kong. Not really, but yes, really. But last night was different. Last night was late, and last night I met so many people. Maybe it's because I'm really sleep deprived right now. I feel a little dizzy. I kind of want to throw up, just a little bit. But I feel like I've socialized so much for the last few days that I just can't take it anymore. And not in a necessarily bad way. In a way, it signifies that I have truly cross the line. Oh my god. Also, yet last night is amazing because I passed 200 followers. And then we have today, which is again church, lunch, not much else. But this time, again, I'm able to socialize, which is awesome, but also I feel more confident in myself this time around. Like, I know how to, like, I'm beginning to learn how to socialize. And there are, like, tricks. Again, I come off like a sociopath, but I feel like this isn't being a sociopath. This is being good at living and being good at socializing. So, I asked for people's Instagram in a know how to gauge, how to start a conversation. What sort of conversation to go to, what to talk about, how to make the situation less awkward. I know what to do now, and it's awesome, man. It's awesome. Just I don't know. I felt really distant from people usually, but I feel like I'm so glad I was so close to saying no. When Jonah asked me, or Jonah didn't even ask me, when Jonah told me that I can go to this talent show, I could have just said, nah, I got stuff to do. And I would have missed out all these things. I would have completely missed out all these things. My Instagram will still have fewer than 200 followers, and I wouldn't have such a memorable, dreamy experience. But I said yes, and I gained so much from it. And I and Kelly, 90% of the time, I and Kelly talked about our experience last night. And this is like the first time we actually have something of substance to talk about. Because whenever I have a conversation with people, the surface level, the most basic conversation is, hi, what's your name? Are you a student? And if you're a classmate and you already know I'm a student, you ask things like, what's your major? Why do you like film major? Are you in year 1 or year 2? Where do you want to transfer? Where are you from? Oh, I've been there too. Like, I can pretty much predict everything. And those are surface level because they hold no substance. They only provide basic information. But the next level, you can go deeper. And if you want to go deeper, it's shared experience. Like, if I and Potter... Oh, I forgot to mention that by the end of our trip in Westwood, when I and Potter were sitting on this brick sidewalk little seat thing at the wall of a shop, a random black dude with beard sat beside us. And Potter's like, Yang, and then we just left. And it is little experiences like this that really reinforces our relationship. Common experiences is so much stronger than common interests because it is something that we both know in a concrete way. So this is what I learned actually today. Experience more with people because common experiences are stronger than common interests. So rewind time. In an alternate timeline, let's say I want to date Mary. Even if we have common interests, it won't work as well as if we, I don't know, did something together. Like went to a beach event together and some weird shit happens. And it doesn't have to be romantic and all. Like, I help Mary escape, and I help Mary, and Mary helps me, and it's like a Netflix teenage romance film. It doesn't have to be like that. As long as we're there, in the same space, at the same time, seeing and hearing the same things, we can talk about that, and we can express our thoughts on that. And the way we express our thoughts on our common experiences show us our personality even more so than how we just describe ourselves. That's alternate timeline. But yeah, I'm at 201 followers now, which is absolutely insane. And again, like, I also learned that it's important to gauge how warm you are towards someone. Like Mank, I told Potter about Mank. I said I haven't texted him in months, and Potter told me, nah, it's already like cold. It's gone cold already. Strike while the iron is hot. When you and that person is going well, you keep striking the iron. So in this is LA where everybody's apart. This is not like school where I'm. This is not like secondary school where I'm forced to keep on speaking and dealing with the same people over and over and over again every single day. This is real life, and people are apart. People have shit to do. So to keep striking the iron while it's hot, you keep texting them, you keep calling them, you keep DMing them through Instagram. Even if you don't know what to say in Instagram, just find something to say, find an excuse. Why? Because that's socializing. You sacrifice honesty for the sake of being nice. And I know that's a little fake, and that's kind of the Californian spirit. But really, it's so goddamn important just to find something random to talk about. Just DM people on Instagram. Like, I did that, when my primary school, not even classmate, like when the girl I knew from primary school watched Revolution of Our Times in the UK, like I reacted to it. Why? Like I could not react to it, It wouldn't have made a difference. But the difference is actually huge. And that is she remembers me because I actively remind her that I exist. And back in secondary school, I'm always like, oh, people always forget that I exist. Oh, people always think I'm invisible. And that's kind of my fault too, because I always need to, I should have reminded them constantly that I exist. Not by annoying them or bothering them, because that will just make them hate me, but by doing small things, like, again, reacting to them on Instagram, again, talking to people individually. It's like, socialization isn't a natural thing, at least for me. It's a game. It's a game of strategy. It's a game of knowing how to pull strings, knowing how to understand someone so that you're able to, talk to someone. It's a complicated game, and it's not fun, but everybody's got to play it if you want to live a good life. And I'm beginning to really learn that. Man, I gotta sit down. Too tired. Yeah, I thought I had something else to say, but now I forgot again. So, life's not gonna be as easy. Because I still have to cash that $903 check that my second host gave me. It's been a whole ass month and more since he had sent me that check. I need to cash that ASAP. I'll probably do it tomorrow. I still got Amazon Prime. I still haven't bought my tables yet. More acne, because why not? Fuck. I still gotta buy that electronic balance, the scale, the weight scale, the bathroom scale. I still gotta go to Ralph's and buy food, even though I have a lot of food now. But I still got stuff to do. Also, this morning I just remembered that there's transfer meeting thing. This transfer, like, in-person transfer workshop a couple days later on Tuesday. So I'm gonna skip Spanish class that day. I'm not even gonna go. I'm just going to directly go to my college campus and go to that workshop. And JT will be there, and we will hang out and we will talk. And again, socialize. Socialize, shows, socialize, shows, socialize. And once again, this is in person. This is an in-person meeting. Did I drop something? What the fuck? I need to buy a vacuum at some point in the future just to clean up this place. But yeah, again, common experience. So I and JT can talk about that. Also, another interesting thing that happened on the day I and Potter hung out in Westwood is that Potter told me that once in a while, because JT and Potter have met once or maybe a couple times already without me. Because why would they ask me? I'm invisible. And that's my fault. But JT and Potter hung out with another Taiwanese girl sometime before we hung out last Tuesday. And even when they hung out, apparently, according to Potter, they didn't completely forget about me. JT asked about me still. Like, JT asked, or she didn't ask, it was just an expression, like, I wonder how is Enoch doing. According to Potter, JT says that. JT is good at socializing not because she is a master of puppet or some evil, calculated mastermind. She's good at it because she's good at it. She's born like this. She has a personality where she just is very brave and is not afraid of rejection and being hated. And I'm the opposite of that. I'm so afraid. And I can be, but I should hide that, you know? B, JT naturally keeps thinking about people. Different people have different ways. Natalie is also a great socializer, I'd say. Natalie's made tons of friends and she has a new life now. She doesn't need me. I low-key want to text Natalie and tell her that, yo, I have over 200 followers now. Yo, I'm socializing now. I'm so proud of myself. But you know what? I'm not going to text her because what is she going to say in return? Yay? Good for you? Haha, lol. There's nothing she can say. I have my life now, she has hers. That's it. So the way Natalie does it is she moves on. She keeps moving on. And she selectively hangs on to people and finds people to cling on to. Different people have different methods. And then with Mary, Mary's got 1,130 something followers now. Holy jack shit. And she had an Instagram story today. I miss her. She has probably forgotten about me. And you know, I could just DM her on Instagram. But, like Potter said, there is warm and cold. If you haven't spoken to someone for months, randomly saying something will not work. It will just make it more awkward. So right now, the iron between me and Mary are cold as ice. So cold that she's forgotten about me. I'll never forget about her, of course. Why would I? But I've already spoken for 25 minutes. I'm gonna grab my shower towel. Alright, yeah, you know, just a lot of thoughts. I really am tired, man. I really want to just go to bed, but life will not stop. There's the workshop, there's more. I still haven't gotten the call from the employer yet. I want to bother Pepper. I'm going to use the term bother from now on as if it's a negative thing. And it is kind of a negative thing because I am making a fuss out of nothing. But again, socializing, from what I've learned in the past couple of weeks, is that in order to socialize, you don't have to do it with purpose. Find an excuse. Always find an excuse. And talk about something that you don't even want to talk about, but you still talk about it because that's socializing, man. That's socializing. I want to socialize with Pepper. I want to have lunch with her. I want to have dinner with her. I know she has a boyfriend. Who fucking cares? You know what? She can invite her boyfriend. Let's hang out together. You know what? I'll even invite my own people. I got JT and Potter. That's cool, you know? Let's do it. let's not be afraid. But yeah, level 2 is still ongoing, obviously. I need to set a goal. So for level 1, my goal is obviously a place I can live in. I can finally manage my food issues, which is kind of a vague goal, but it basically means I'm confident. I don't feel worried about food anymore. I'm confident. I know how much money to spend. I know what to buy. I'm confident in my abilities in cooking and buying food. And college, which means I'm confident in what I'm doing. Level 1 is complete. Level 2, I need to set a goal. And I guess, I honestly don't know. I guess the goal should be if I have joined a group of friends that is 4 or more people, or B, have 6 friends that I can rely on. Have I reached that goal already? Okay, I have JT, Potter. Diana's gone. She's gone. Bye bye. JT, Potter, Pepper. I like her. I think she would make a really cool friend. But I feel like we're not there yet. We haven't even done lunch yet, so I wouldn't count Pepper. I'd say JT and Potter. Jonah. Kelly, not there yet. Christian, not there yet. Thomas, not there yet. Eric, not there yet. So it's 3. So if I'm able to make 6, that's when level 2 stops. That, or I join a group of friends that are 4 or more people. 4 or more, because if it's 3 or more, it's, Grant, Natalie, me, and Zara hanging out in Hong Kong U last December. Doesn't mean anything. But if it's 4 or more, there's more of a dynamic. I hold some sort of place in this group's activity. You know what? I'm fine with that. So I either join a group of friends, and a close, strong group of friends that are 4 or more people, or I make 6 or I make 6 close friends that I can heavily rely on. Heavily. And I don't heavily rely on JT right now, but I can talk random stuff to her, and it wouldn't be that awkward. I mean, I rather wouldn't, because our personalities are extremely different. So I hate to say this, but if at one point in the future I found a cooler, better person I can be friends with, I can just discard. I can discard JT. Just throw her away. Good day. I'll throw you under the bus. But I'm not that mean, so I'll keep in contact with her. But like Natalie, I'll selectively focus. I'll shift around, without being mean. Because managing too many friends is also kind of impossible. That's bound to happen. That's life. That's level 2. Group of friends 4 or more, or make 6 or more close friends. And I feel like I'm getting there. Like, again, Kelly is close. Pepper is close. It's going to turn from 3 to 5 very soon. And then I'll just need 1 more. I honestly don't want to be close friends with Thomas, because he ain't my personality. I don't know. I'll keep looking. And as far as girlfriend goes, again, it's not in a hurry. And B, it's not how it works. Friends, I can aggressively socialize. But girlfriend is something that needs to happen naturally. It's a personal matter, and I can't just say I need to acquire it like it's some side quest or something. It's more like an achievement. Let's talk about transfer. UCLA, USC. I'm still figuring it out, but I will figure it out. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. I'm tired. I don't want to talk anymore. I'm gonna call my mom though. Tell her what happened last night. Or maybe I don't have to. I'm a big boy. I don't have to. But I will. out of kindness, probably. Yeah. All right, time now is noon, 12:02, on April 19th, 18th. Holy crap. If you had told me that walking all the way to Target, watching everything everywhere all at once is 1 week ago, I would not have believed in you because it felt like it's been a whole month already. So much has happened in the last 7 days. It's honestly insane. Um, yeah, I slept all the way from 3:40 something to 11:30. Actually, I woke up way before 11:30. Woke up naturally, but I just laid on my bed. All right, so I don't know why, but last night I listened to some Mitter Thief, and for some reason this song is sort of stuck in my head. Dirt, this song, and it's so depressing, and it's affecting my mood a little bit. And Mary posted a couple of Instagram stories, and both of her stories are reposts from her boyfriend, and it's basically photos of her, and then the next story is photos of her kissing her boyfriend, which is again miserable. I hate to see that, but I guess good for her. If she's happy, if she's having time of her life, just good for her. I haven't received a call from the employer yet. I feel like I have forgotten. Again, I'm gonna set myself a deadline, and the deadline's gonna be Wednesday night. So, you know. Last night before I went to bed, I read a couple more paragraphs of Sediryeong Hongjun, but also I cashed in the check that the second host gave me. The second host, aka Mr. C, gave me, and turns out he didn't give me $903. He only gave me $736. Which at first I thought, oh my god, he's scamming me. But after some calculations, turns out he's giving me 17 days worth of dollars. So 1,400 divided by 30, or I think 31, divided by 30. And then times 17. So you know what? Screw it. It's fine. I don't want to bother with this stuff anymore. So I scanned the check with my own phone, and then it just automatically enters the money into my bank account. I don't need to go to a bank or an ATM to do it, which is amazing. Wow, technology, 2022. Holy shit. So there's that. I got that taken care of, which means today I actually don't have to leave my apartment. I'll be staying here the whole day, which is great. I have a lot of time to rest. I can watch anime. I'm supposed to watch this a couple of days ago, but I kept pushing it. I have like YouTube videos to do. Also, today is April 18th, and it is the 5th year anniversary of my YouTube channel, so that is a huge deal. Yeah, and tomorrow there's gonna be a workshop thing, and I also want to go to Ralph's maybe tomorrow. Oh my god, I don't know what to say. There's something very depressing lurking behind in my mind, but I can't really make of it. It's different. Every time I feel a kind of sadness, it's a different kind of sadness. It's always different. Like this time, it is similar to March, mid March, mid March sadness. Except this time, it's more like not really sadness, but more like wow. There's no word for it in English. 감khoi. I can't express this in English. It's like the expression of a shock, but instead of an intense shock, it's like a peaceful shock, like after you hike up a mountain and then you look down and realize how high you are, and how far you've gone from the bottom of the mountain, and now you're at the top, and you cannot believe your eyes. It's not sadness, but it's sort of like this distance. Like, wow, I've gotten so far. I can't even believe it. But it's also kind of sad in a way. Like, how did I get here? How do I get back? What's going to become of me now? Where am I going to go next? To be fair, I'm not at the top yet, but you know, in that mountain allegory, I'm slowly climbing up to the top, and I'm beginning to think, what am I going to do after I've reached the top? And by reaching the top, I don't mean becoming a successful filmmaker. I mean just finally living a normal life in the USA, just completely self-sufficiently. Not only in terms of college, food, and housing, because that's finished already. I got that solved, but also like friendship, like a girlfriend, like a job, a car. Once I have everything settled down and I don't got a lot to worry about, I know it won't be peaceful because there are always new problems, but it's just like how far I've gone from the measly, meek, idiotic little kid. Because I had a very long WhatsApp phone call with my mom last night, and honestly, I don't even want to tell my mom about what happened last night and last night and how much I've changed, but I also kind of want to. And I told my mom I've learned so much about socializing. And I before I came to USA, I honestly thought that my social skills are fine because in 2021 I've already, nourished my socialization skills. Because despite the fact that I'm secluded in my own bedroom, I'm able to communicate way better on YouTube, as well as every time I see strangers on Zoom because of online college, I don't come off awkward anymore. But I was wrong. The skill that I was nourishing was communication skills, not socialization skills. Those two are different. Yeah, you know. So I don't know, man. I still got to think about what to do for my short films and my scripts, and I realize I want to do something fun. Cause again, like last Wednesday-ish, I had the idea of a slap in the face and dream, but now I realize that if I want to make the story super depressing, it's not gonna work because that's not the right direction to start with. I watched a lot of USC submitted short films and realized that some short films have shitty stories, shitty camera work, shitty dialogue. But what makes it mildly interesting is what makes it mildly interesting. Something creative, something like Everything Everywhere All at Once, where yeah, in its core it's very philosophical, but on the surface it lures you in with this multiverse premise. And there's this short film that is essentially about being yourself. Don't let others influence you. That's the message. That's the core message. But it's disguised as a time travel story where the main character's future self tells him, oh, no, don't do this. And then he's like, okay, I won't do this. And then it keeps on happening again and again and again. And at the end, he's like, okay, screw it. I'll do this. I'll do whatever I want. I don't care about the future. But, essentially it is the core message of the film is disguised as some fun, creative idea. And I feel like I kind of want to do that with a short film. And I think that's possible. I just need to think long and hard. Same goes for my short script that I'm going to submit to UCLA. I want to make it Chinese flavored as well, like a Chinese culture flavored as a Hong Konger. And I kind of want to do liturgy, but there's nothing all that philosophical about liturgy. And then for USC film idea, I'm gonna try to avoid anything Chinese flavored in it, because if I keep hammering down that I'm Chinese, I'm pan Chinese, then it's gonna be annoying. USC is gonna be like, okay, that's the only thing you can rely on, is that you're not one of us, you're not an American. So my short film for USC, there's a short film, there are some essays, there's introduction video, there's portfolio, and there's a writing sample. And for writing sample, I'm gonna write something that is not really Chinese flavored per se, but something that's more maybe a period piece or maybe something modern. Like I can try like 1950s Hong Kong noir, but that is kind of pan Chinese flavored. So I'm gonna try political thriller. Or unless I have some other crazy idea. But yeah, that's all. All right, here's lunch. 1 egg, sausage. I boiled it so that it's cooked inside out, hopefully, and the eggplant dish thing from lunch yesterday, which I still haven't finished. So I'll finish tomorrow dinner. But looks good. Let's try the egg first, I guess. Obviously good. I don't know what happened to this sausage, but I cut it open and it's spilling sauce. So much red juice came out of this sausage. I don't know what's going on. Look at this pool of red juice. I don't know what's going on, but it does look cooked. So I wouldn't say it's great, but it's edible. Next up for the eggplants. Delicious, as expected, with little strips of mushroom. That's my lunch. All right, cooking the beef. The white guy was here, my roommate, and he was trying to open a plastic box of fried rice, and it sort of exploded and rice came out everywhere, on the floor, on the table, into the pan, and it was a bit of an awkward moment. We didn't say a single thing to each other. He cleaned up the mess and I helped him a little bit. But yeah, big steak, wow. All right, it's like 32. Got the pasta, fried the big cabbage, the big white cabbage, triangular steak. Yay. Alrighty then. Time now is 12:11 after midnight on April 19th. And yeah, I don't know why am I so excited and whimsical all of a sudden. I think it's because of the stupid Spanish homework. It broke me. But yeah, so I had dinner. Like I said, the white guy, my roommate, opened a box of fried rice and, and it exploded right in front of me. And I was like there first, right? I put down my bottle of oil, salt and pepper on the table, and then I went back to the cabinets to grab my bag of box of pasta, as well as my jar of Alfredo ragu sauce for the pasta. And as I was coming back, he showed up and he opened the fried rice box and it just exploded. And he just stood there and he's like, but yeah, he didn't say a word. He had earphones on, or earbuds. But yeah, had dinner. Yay. Zara randomly texted me, talking to me about movies again, because it's cool. About Leslie Jones. She wants to watch more Leslie Jones films. So he asked me if I've seen Better Tomorrow and freaking Days of Being Wild by Wong Kar Wai. Um, and then yeah, I had more conversation with Pepper today this afternoon. I told her this morning that I wasn't given a call by her employer, and she didn't respond until a long time later in the afternoon, saying that maybe it's because the employer has found enough people already. Fine, fine. I'll do it the hard way. It's fine. Next up, after dinner, I don't got much else to do or say really. So I finished editing my album review, and then I suddenly remembered that I have Spanish homework, and that was around 10:45. So I immediately did my Spanish homework, and I was right on time. Right at 11:58, I finished them all. I speed ran it basically, and then that's it. And now it's already too late, and I still got 2 episodes of anime to watch and a whole Spider-Man movie. And I'll still watch them all. I'm gonna try my best. So tomorrow's gonna be a very interesting day because there's Spanish class, but I'm gonna skip it. I'm gonna skip that class. Instead, I'll be going to the workshop, the transfer UCLA transfer workshop, the in-person workshop. For JT. For transfer. And that begins at 3:45 or 3:15, I think. I forgot. But essentially it clashes with my Spanish class. So I'll just straight up skip my Spanish. Who cares? And I asked JT if I could meet up with her a little early because I don't want this to be like I saw JT in workshop and then we just left and that's it. I want to hang out more with JT. I want to tell her about my experience a couple of days ago at the talent show. Obviously, it's so goddamn interesting. And in a way, it's almost a little braggadocious. Like, haha, I got a social life too now. What do you got? Even more social life than me? I know, but still. So yeah, and JT said, yeah, sure, let's meet up a little earlier. So now we're discussing on that. Nothing else. Nothing else. I'm still very bummed about losing the December thoughts update videos. Fuck. I know I'm more bummed out than I should be about this, but I really am because it's the number one thing I hate the most in the world. Forgetting. This is why I film my thoughts every single day, because I don't want to forget what I thought about today, if that makes any sense. And losing these videos is not that detrimental or anything to my health. No, it's fine. And I could still vaguely remember like what happened. Like I lost 4 days from December 7th to 11th to 10th, 7, 8, 9, 10. I lost 4 days of thoughts update material, which is about 1 hour and 20 minutes or maybe 1 hour and 30 minutes long. And I could kind of extrapolate and guess what are the thoughts I had on that day, but it will never be genuine the way I speak now. And also I realized that me doing these thoughts update videos are actually great because I realized that the things I think about and my attitude, my mindset, even the way I speak, the structure of my sentences, the way my thoughts connect, right now is so much more different from how I used to think back in 2017. Just go watch a YouTube video from 2017. The way I talk, the thoughts I have, my mindset about the world and myself, so different. It's horrifying how different. I even look different. I even act different. Like right now, I talk, I swing them around my hands, I put my phone so close to my face, and I don't feel shame. I feel confident because I'm used to this, and I'm so much more well-spoken and articulate right now. But back then, I actually speak so much slower. Like the evolution of the way I speak just changes so drastically. And my thoughts, like nowadays I have so much thought about, like I have so much memory about life science, life knowledge. Like throw me back to 2019, throw me back to 2018. What the hell do I know about self-sustaining, like cooking, when to go to the supermarket, how to do the laundry? I'm doing the laundry right now. I just washed my pajamas. I'm washing other clothes right now. What the hell do I know about finding an apartment, finding an Airbnb? What do I know about socializing, building relationships, setting up goals? I don't know jack shit about these things because I don't have to worry about them. So I end up worrying about things that I actually don't need to worry about, like my school life, which I should be worried about, but I overthink things. Or I focus my memory on other things, like the things I learn at school. But now, if you ask me about what is chapter 24 in my biology textbook, I've forgotten. Sorry, man, I've forgotten. It's been 2 years since the DSEs. I've completely forgotten. Not completely, but you know, one can only remember so much stuff. And now a lot of stuff in my head is cleared and replaced by life knowledge, like how to socialize, how to cook, when to cook, how to set up a timetable, time management. And it's not necessarily a positive or a negative change, it's just a change, and it just shows how I've grown. But yeah, also I need to say that I need to go to the supermarket tomorrow, probably Ralph's, because I need to buy some food. And I got a shopping list on my phone. Life knowledge, what can I say? Also, a couple more things. Not a couple more things, one more thing. The Wi-Fi broke down. The Wi-Fi broke suddenly halfway through when I'm doing my Spanish homework, and it was distressing. I went outside to the router to see what's going on, and I tried to unplug it and replug it, didn't work. So Cindy saw me, and she's like, "Oh, the Wi-Fi's broken," and I'm like, "Yeah, I got a homework to hand in this midnight." So she's like, "Oh, I can give you my hotspot," and I said, "Oh, actually, I can give myself hotspot," so I did. And then later, Jared, the white guy, came out, and he like fixed the issue or something. Don't know what happened. All right, time now is 10:19 a.m. in the morning on April 19th. Um, God damn. All right, it's Tuesday. I slept very little. I slept from 3:50 ish to 10. Oh, frick. So, yeah, this is probably the latest I've slept since a long time ago. I don't know why. I tried my very, very best to sleep as early as possible, but I can't. I don't know why. Like after, I didn't even watch Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I planned to watch it last night, but at the end I'm like, okay, I don't have time. Let's just skip it. But even so, I still managed to go to bed at nearly 4 a.m. Oh my god. Like, I don't know why. I listened to music. I went to Amazon to look for desks and bathroom electronic scales, and then I suddenly remembered that I still have clothes in the drying machine, so I took them out, and then little by little, it's already 2 something, like 2:45 or something. And then I had a conversation with Pepper. At around like 2 a.m. Pepper's still awake at very late. Um, Truth be told, out of all people I've met in Los Angeles so far, the one I'm most eager to hang out with is Pepper. Because, I don't know, because we have common interests is what's happening. Because we have common interests, because we're similar. and she's really nice. So it all started with I forgot. Oh yeah, I should talk about the dream I had first. It wasn't much, but I dreamed that I had to relocate. I had to abandon this apartment and relocate. And I dreamed that Natalie has a new boyfriend. And she, after like, I don't know, calling me or texting me, like Natalie spoke to another person, and that person magically became her boyfriend. Alright, but back to Pepper. I'm so sleepy. Oh god. That's like 6 hours, which is not that bad. But like Jesus, you know. Pepper's really nice and we talked about many things. Oh yeah, Pepper asked me if I'm gonna go back to Hong Kong in the summer and I said nah. My family wants to go to me instead in LA. And she said, oh, and I told her I need to make my short film here in the USA. I mean, I could go back to Hong Kong and make it. So that's what Pepper said, actually. Pepper said she wants to go back to Hong Kong to make the short film. To make a short film. And I'm like, oh, do you have any friends there to help you make it? And then she quoted, quoted back her own question asking me if I'm going to go back to Hong Kong because she also wants me to help her back in Hong Kong, but unfortunately I won't be going back to Hong Kong. Which is awesome. I can't imagine like seeing someone like Potter or even seeing someone like Pepper back in Hong Kong because it's so different worlds. I associate Potter and Pepper with Los Angeles. I don't associate them with Hong Kong, even though they're Hong Kongers. But if I ever see Pepper and like, I don't know, like Natalie in the same room, I would probably freak out because my mind would break. It would be glitching, like my reality would glitch. But yeah. So I said, oh well, if I won't be going to Hong Kong in the summer, but if I asked her if she knows how to edit videos, and she said she knows some basics. And I said, okay, well, I can help you edit your short film, you know. And she's like, yeah, thank you so much. I was gonna ask her if she had decided to go to University of Riverside or not, because if she does, then it's goodbye. I'll never see her again, and not never see her, but apparently Riverside is not that far away, but like it's going to be a bit sad. The person I'm eager to hang out with the most is leaving me, and now I'm alone again. Um she before I could even ask her this, she already replied. She said, "Oh, by the way, I decided to stay half more year." And I'm like, "Oh, you don't like Riverside?" And she said, "Yeah, Riverside is boring as fuck." And I said, "Oh, okay. Oh, by the way, will you be taking film 32 then if you stay half more year in this college?" And then she said, "Yes." She's a very bubbly and excited girl. Like she always adds multiple like letters at the end of her like text. Like wow, like WAW. She does WAWOWWW, which is kind of funny. She's just a very like happy, uplifting girl, I guess. And I also like when we were talking about making a short film in Hong Kong, she says she wants to make something super Hong Kong related, and I'm like, damn, yes, I want to do that too. Except I feel like me having already done a short film before I left already kind of did that, you know. So it's cool. It's cool. But yeah, I legitimately want to like find some time and hang out with Pepper, despite the fact that she already has a boyfriend. You know, who fucking cares? Like, invite her boyfriend too. You know, I'll invite my friends too. Like, I have a lot of them. Uh, but yeah. Alright, so I'm going to leave. Right now it's about to be 10:30. I'm going to leave at around 12:15. So at around 12:15, I'm going to go to Ralph's, buy food, come back, and by the time I come back, it should be about 1:30, hopefully. And at 1:30, I'm gonna take a eat a quick lunch, and then I'm going to go out again. And at 2:30, I will be meeting JT at the main campus of my college, or I actually don't know where. I'm gonna text her. And then we're going to meet up and be like, aha, yay, and then we're going to go to the workshop together in person, and it's going to last until maybe 5, and then I'll come back home, cook myself dinner, and then yada 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 yada. So yeah, that's why I woke up so early today. But yeah, and it's gonna be an interesting day, and then tomorrow's gonna be interesting too, because film 31, I'm going to be meeting Pepper again. Yeah. I don't know. I do not know. Alright, time now is like 12:50. So JT changed her mind and wanted to meet up with me not at 2:30, but at 3:15, which means I have more time. So originally I planned to leave my apartment to go to Ralph's at 12:15, but now it's 12:50. So I have extra time now, which is cool. So yep, got my bags ready. Let's go to Ralph's. Wow. Okay. I can buy one of these. Wow. Alright, it's 2:13. This is what I got. Ignore the frigging trash. By the way, only 41 point something dollars. Very cheap. Good bargain. Alright, orange pepper. I got cabbage. Let's place it on the ground like a savage. That rhymes. Brown eggs. Did any of them crack? No. Amazing. Alright. Tomato biscuit soup. Bought this because it only requires water. No milk needed. Ah. Highlight of the show. Chocolate chip cookies. Trolley sour bite gummy. Noosa yogurt. Blueberry flavored. This is chicken thighs. Fuck. Garlic. I love garlic. Need to buy one every time. Fingerling potatoes. Alright. And oh my god. I thought for a moment, I thought the cashier forgot to put my fish in. But cod. And finally, and chicken tenders, because this is, I wanted to buy turkey breast, but this one is easier to dissect and it's cheaper. Pringles. It's $2.26. One piece of chicken tender, one piece of end toast, a little bit of the eggplant, and this is oven baked, microwaved. I didn't even do anything to it. I just took it out of the box. Let's go. This is my lunch. Alright, it's 2:52. I'm kind of late again. I checked transit and apparently it's going to take a whole hour for me to get to the college campus because the buses are fucking whack. So, I don't know what to do. I have no idea what to do right now. I actually do not. It's 3:27. I'm there. JT's late because the buses are acting weird. So well, I'm back to the HSS.
And what it is, what they do is they focus on research and theory. So all 9 UCs have.
Well, that was a bizarre experience. Nobody came to the workshop in person other than me and JT. And JT left early, and then I left, and you would not believe this. All right, time now is 6:02 p.m. Oh. Jesus Christus. Alright, time now is 6:03 p.m. I'm choking on water. And I'm also eating my humongous, gigantic box of peppermint ice cream. So, let's talk about what happened today. Quite a weird day. I wouldn't say it's super weird, but it's a little bit weird, you know, only a little bit. Only a little bit. So I left the apartment at 12:50 to go to Ralph's to buy food. I did, and it was smooth. I took bus number 4, went there, got off, listened to music, walked over. I bought the food I wanted. I missed out some, but it's fine. It's whatever. Only $41. Came back, put down my stuff. Immediately had, lunch. The eggplants, the chicken, the bread, and then I went out, and turns out I'm even earlier than JT. So here we go. Here is the UCLA workshop. I arrived there, and first of all, I'm earlier than JT, which is good because it's a rare thing. I get late all the time, but not today. JT shows up, and I thought I would recognize her, but I didn't for some reason until she went closer, because she doesn't wear clothes like this. Like, she's wearing a very big white shirt, like very gigantic white shirt. So she looks really huge for some reason, which is hilarious. So yeah, she went to the bathroom. I waited outside of the bathroom, and then we went into the room. And originally I wanted to talk to her, chat to her, talk to her about socializing, my weird experience at UCLA. And then she said, "Oh, you went to UCLA?" And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "Oh, I went there yesterday, and I'm gonna go there later again tonight." Of course. JT and her 12 million friends at UCLA and at the rest of the world. Just she has appointments left and right, and she has to go everywhere, anywhere, everywhere, every time. But yeah, we enter the classroom, and turns out we're the only 2 person in there. Aside from the woman who is holding the Zoom meeting, which is a bit awkward, but JT's here, and I thought to myself, okay, if I and I thought to myself, if I hadn't done this, if I hadn't gone to this workshop in person, if I had only gone on Zoom, then JT would be the only person there. And that would be extremely awkward. So in a way, it's good for her, but also not, because JT's fine on her own, but I won't be. Yeah, the workshop happens, and honestly, it's underwhelming, because 90% of the workshop are already things I've heard already. And this workshop goes through a PowerPoint, but I've seen that PowerPoint already. But what's good about this workshop is that I get to ask a couple questions after it finishes. aside from the woman who did the presentation, there were also a couple other women, but they left halfway for some reason. And we could get a souvenir merchandise from the college, so I got one, which is giant leather book with some single line paper inside attached, like a memo, like a huge memo. And JT got the same. We sat together, not in the front row, in the back, right beside the table, and we jotted down notes. She forgot to bring a pen, so I had to give her my pen a little bit, and then she would take my pen, and I would take it back, and you know. But yeah, it was good. And then around 4:55, JT just up and left. I honestly thought JT would stay a little longer because I wanted to speak to her. I want to chat with her as a friend, you know, good old friend. Not really good old friend, like just as a friend, you know. But JT's like, I gotta be somewhere. I gotta go. And I'm like, oh, okay. So she just left. Yay, I'm alone again. I didn't have to come here. I could have just gone on Zoom. It wouldn't have made a difference. It actually would not have made a difference. In fact, if I got on Zoom, it would actually be better because on Zoom, you could literally see the PowerPoint because of share screen. But in person, I'm staring from far and I can't see clearly. And the presenter of the workshop posted some links in the chat of Zoom. I can't access those links now because it's in person. So in a way, it's stupid. But what's hilarious is what comes next. So workshop's over. I ask the workshop woman, the workshopper, a couple questions. Question number one. Question about Igetsi. I don't know why I'm doing all this crazy hand gestures. I'm just high at this point. I'm high on peppermint ice cream. So I asked Igetsi, is it a thing that you have to do over the course of college plus university for transfer? Because apparently, I only recently learned that you actually don't have to go to college in the USA. You can directly go to university. So I've always thought after secondary school, it's 2 plus 2 in the USA, and in the rest of the world, it's just 4 years. But actually, in the USA, it's 4 or 2 plus 2. This is why Linda and Darnell are able to directly go to University of Washington. They don't have to go through any community colleges because they actually don't have to. They can just go for their 4 years. They could actually do that. And I could do that. It's just that going 2 plus 2 is an easier path because if I want to get to UCLA. All right. But yeah, and the workshopper said yes, Igetsi is over the course of college plus uni, which means that but she recommends me to finish all the Igetsi, all the general education in college. But if I hadn't finished it, I need to finish it in university. It's one way or the other. And then I asked during the workshop, she did show us assist.org, which is a website that I know about already. And of course, the agreement between my college and UCLA for film production is nothing. There are no agreements. Nothing. Except it recommends me to take film history course. And I have to take it by the end of fall, which throws a gigantic wrench into my plan. Because my plan for fall is film 32 and the lab. So that's 4 units. Anthropology 22, which is the magic and witchcraft, biology 21, and then and that's it. And then a college seminar thing. So that's 4 plus 3 plus 5 plus 1. So that's 17. That's 7 plus 5, and that is exactly 12. No, that's 13. So that's more than 12. So that's perfecto. But now I need to squeeze film history into that semester. I don't have to, but I also kind of have to because it's recommended. So now, and I low-key don't want to take biology, even though it's GE, it's general education. I low-key don't want to. So I could replace biology with film history. So now, instead of 13 units, it's 11, which doesn't work because it needs to be minimum 12. So now I need to look at reduced workload. Um, Finally, um, yeah, she showed us this website on UCLA, this web page where we can see how many uh, admissions there are to a certain department and how many of them actually got in. So for UCLA Film, 838 people applied and 1% got in. So out of 838, only 8 people got in? Or 9? 9. So yeah, that's basically 0%. And as far as GPA goes, it's between 3.7 to 3.9. That is the lower quartile to the upper quartile. So if I'm within or if I'm higher, I'm a-okay. All right, workshop's done. I left by myself. I said thank you, and then everybody's gone. So I'm like, okay, fine. So me, with my diagonal bag and my souvenir, my leather booklet, I walked to the bus station, and I was like looking at my transit app, looking how to get back home. And at the bus station, there are so many East Asians or East Asian Americans there. It's hilarious. Like, I just look, and it's just a sea of East Asians. I'm like, wow, we are so strong. So, and then I walked a little bit forward. In front of me, there's a group of friends. You know, like 3 girls, a couple guys, very American. You know, the guys have dyed hair. You know, what's up? Haha. I walk past them and I look back and I'm like, hold on, whoa, what? That's Pepper. What? So I'm like, okay, do I just walk up to her and say hi, or because at that point Pepper's chatting with her friends, very happily, like playing with their phones, you know, and just laughing. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to just randomly walk up to her and interrupt her. You know, it would be disrespectful, and I don't want to make it awkward. I don't want to make a scene. But at the same time, I don't want to just stand here like an idiot and staring at her. It was a very awesome moment because it created a lot of tension. And that's awesome. I like tension. It's a very conspiracies moment. Very conspiracies flavored. What can I say? So I thought to myself, you know what? I have to do this. Just for the sake of it. I will WhatsApp Pepper and tell her I'm right in front of you. Like she's in a horror movie or something. So I did, and then I guess she read it, and she looked up, and then she saw me, and then I'm like, I look so defeated. Like, and then I just walked towards her, smiling like a, and it didn't interrupt anything. Like, Pepper's friends, they all ignored me. It was as if I was invisible, and I was at the side, and I didn't say much. I didn't cause a scene, so it was like, it didn't make a difference if I join Pepper or not. It doesn't make any difference. So Pepper's like, oh, you're waiting for number 7? And I'm like, no, number 43. Well, actually, I can take 7. So at the end, Rapid 7, bus number 7, Rapid, R7, showed up. Pepper, a friend of hers, and me, and literally like 15, and I'm not exaggerating, like 15 other students from the same college aboarded the bus. And yeah, and then Pepper and the girl, her female friend, sat at the back of the bus in one of those seats where it's facing the side instead of the front. And then I sat opposite of Pepper. And it was kind of awkward because I want to chat with her and I also want to get to know people, even though I also don't really want to because I'm not this kind of person, but I'm also curious, you know. But I also don't expect much. I mean, it's Pepper's friends. How far is it gonna get me? And also, how far is it gonna get for me? But yeah. At the end, I just stayed silent for the most part. I did ask Pepper like, "What class did you take?" and she said philosophy, and I said, oh, did she? And Pepper said, oh no, she's just a friend. And then Pepper, actually before we boarded the bus, Pepper asked me what class did I take, and I told her it's a workshop. And he's like, a workshop? And I'm like, oh, it's complicated because there's JT, and then I could have gone on Zoom, and then all this and all that. It's a whole thing. But yeah, I could almost slightly tell what Pepper's friend is speaking to her. But throughout the bus ride, it's just Pepper and her friend just laughing and chatting and giggling, and I'm just sitting at the opposite side, just looking all miserable and just looking at the air, just staring at my phone aimlessly. And Pepper and her friend, they talked about, oh, he follows me on Snapchat. Like Pepper's friend is like, oh, this boy followed me on Snapchat. He screenshotted a photo. Oh my God, what's happening? This is awkward. This is weird. Ha ha ha. Blah blah. And at some point, I asked Pepper, like, what class did you take? And this sort of interrupted them a little bit. And in my heart, I'm like, oh shit, I don't want to interrupt them. But at the same time, oh yes, I want to interrupt them so that they would acknowledge my existence. And then a little bit later, Pepper's friend asked Pepper, like, where does he live? And Pepper said, oh, somewhere near this place, Sawtell. And Pepper's and Pepper was like, why don't you ask him directly? He's sitting right across you. Well, to be fair, if I was Pepper's friend, I also wouldn't randomly ask someone of the opposite sex, where do you live, when I only met him like 10 minutes ago. Or like 8 minutes ago, 7, I don't know. Yeah, at the end, turns out me and Pepper's friend got off at the same bus station, but Pepper's friend and another, I assume, Japanese guy with dyed hair, this Chad, just left. And then I left, and then they just disappeared. They just walked away. And then I took another bus back home. That's it. Bye-bye. It's really weird. It's really weird. It's a weird moment. It's indeed a weird moment. Life is strange. But in conclusion, I have no idea. There's nothing to conclude. Back in secondary school, seeing someone you know on the bus isn't a huge deal, or at the bus stop isn't a huge deal. I mean, it kind of is, but also not really, because we're all from the same school. We're gonna see each other at school anyways, every day. Who cares? But now it's considered a coincidence. The world has changed. My world has changed. And it's just cool, Yeah. I don't know how my whole friendship thing is gonna expand, honestly. Like, for me, like, right now, I have no idea who my next friend is going to be. I honestly have zero clue. And I feel like I should just write down a list of all my pathways, like the cobweb strategy, except I do it even more analytically, like from Potter. How many friends can I gain from Potter's side? How many friends can I gain from JT's side? 0, right? Because JT's friends are all dancers from UCLA. The fuck do they have to do with me? Pepper's friends. Maybe, because Pepper's film major, and maybe, but I don't know. Okay, from Film 40, from the church. How much am I going to get? And at which area am I going to work on, I should do this, because I honestly am aimless. Like, level 2 is probably just as tough as level 1. Level 1 is college, food, and housing, and it's difficult in a different way. I mean, obviously it's difficult because it's just annoying, it's a nuisance, it's complicated, and it's full of pitfalls and trap holes. but friendship is more psychological, and it's so much more complex than you would think. So the Wi-Fi's broken again, so that's great.